This video is about Vanguard UK. Vanguard UK is one of my favorite platforms and the platform that brought me one of the highest returns out all of the platforms that I've invested my money so far. But just like any other platform, Vanguard has its negative sides. They're not horrible, but it's definitely something that they could improve. So I thought I will make this video about the negative sides on Vanguard with the hope that if you are considering opening your account on Vanguard, you will find this video useful because at least you will know what to expect. It's a great platform, it's stable, it's cheap, and these are the two main things that you should look at when choosing your broker. But I'm hopeful that with time Vanguard will solve these issues as well. So if you want to know what things I don't like about Vanguard, then keep watching this video. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia. On this channel I talk about investing and especially investing for beginners. Vanguard is one of the main and the most popular platforms for investors. The cool thing about Vanguard is that it allows you to invest into funds, so it is very low risk and it is very easily done. There is a choice of 75 different funds, at least this is the case for Vanguard UK. This is a very old company. I mean, it's not ancient, but it is relatively old, much older than the other similar platforms on the UK market, and it is very proud to have a lot of customers and at the same time being able to keep their fees very low. The fees on Vanguard are really low, but they are not the lowest on the market. So let's start with the thing number one that I don't like about Vanguard. The first negative side on Vanguard is a relatively high first deposit. With the new platforms like Etoro, like FreeTrade, the first minimum deposit is about £50. With XTB, for example, there is no minimum deposit at all, so you can open the real account and start trading with as much money as you have. With Vanguard it is different because the minimum deposit, the first deposit, is £500. And even though for the majority of more experienced investors £500 is not a big sum of money because they are used to investing with bigger sums, for someone who is just about to start and who is looking for a new platform to start with, Vanguard may seem quite expensive and quite risky because not everyone has or wants to start with 500 straight away. If you don't want to invest a lump sum, you can also set up a direct debit and then you have to invest at least $100 every month. So it doesn't matter how you look at it, the sum that you will end up with in your account on Vanguard is the same, it's around £500. Again, not a big deal, but in comparison to other similar platforms, I think this is a definite negative. The next negative side is that you can set up a direct debit only once a month. So for example, if I want to buy S&P 500 every week, I cannot do it automatically, I have to do it manually. Only way of how I can automate it is by investing every month, but not every week. And there are many reasons of why you might prefer to invest every week over every month. Like in my case, for example, if I have £200 allocated for S&P 500 every month, I would rather take an opportunity to use the dollar cost average strategy every single week and not just once a month. Over a long period of time, I don't think it will make a big difference, but for me, I just don't understand why not. Why it is so easy to do with other platforms, but not for Vanguard. The third negative side is the lack of app. It's not lack, it's a complete absence of app. And I know that they are saying they are trying to keep their cost as low as possible. That's why they never got to developing an app. But it's not a 100% truth, because if you look at Vanguard US, they have an app there, and even though they claim that their website is 100% usable from the mobile phone, and it is true because all this time I was using Vanguard on my phone from a browser, it still would be much easier to check it from an app. And in general, I think for such a big company, not having an app is just strange. It's as if they said that they are 100% against apps and this is the route they are taking and they are not going to change it. And I just don't understand why. So an app would be good. Without an app, it's all right, but why not make it? Especially when you read how much money they spend on the ads and their marketing. They are trying to keep their expenses low, but they spend a lot of money on their promotion. Okay, the next thing that I don't like about Vanguard is that the funds that you can buy on Vanguard are also available on other platforms, and these same funds might be cheaper on other platforms because such platforms as Etoro, they don't charge you commission at all, and even though the commission on Vanguard is very low, there is still a commission. Therefore, of course, it is cheaper to buy it on Etoro over buying it on Vanguard. The problem of buying it on Etoro is that if you buy a fund like S&P 500 fund on Etoro, you are buying a CFD, and if you don't know what a CFD is, then please watch this video here. I attach it almost to every single video I make because I think it is super important to understand what CFD trading is. But if you don't use any leverage, then essentially it is the same whether you buy a real share of a fund through Vanguard or you buy CFD through Etoro. There is no difference for you because if the price goes down or it goes up, you will make or lose the same amount of money. Some of the funds are available only on Vanguard, for example, life strategy funds. You cannot find them anywhere else. So for services like this, okay, it's fair enough to charge some commission. But for other funds, like for example, VUSA, which is the name of S&P 500 fund on Vanguard UK, Vanguard, you have to remove your commissions. Commissions is the thing of the past. Now we're all about zero commission brokers. Isn't it interesting how now to be a low commission broker is not enough anymore? You have to be a zero commission broker to be able to compete for the customers on this market. Okay, let's move on to the next thing that I don't like. Vanguard is available not only in the UK but also in the US, and it is quite hard to find information about Vanguard UK on YouTube because the majority of videos that I found, they were for the USA customers. And even though it is the same company but just a sort of a different branch, the services that it is providing are completely different. The name of the funds are different. The choice of the funds is different. The US customers have a much bigger choice than the UK customers, and I think it's unfair. Why would you make something like that? Why would you be offering completely different funds with completely different names? And why wouldn't you offer the whole range of funds that is available in the US in the UK? Again, comparing it to other brokers, like for example, let's take Etoro, because Etoro is my favorite. They are offering their service in many different countries of the world, and everywhere it is the same, unless the regulating authorities of this particular country don't allow them to provide certain services, like for example trading CFDs is prohibited in certain countries, trading cryptocurrencies and so on. Then it is clear, okay, they are not allowed to provide this service in a certain country. But for Vanguard, I just don't understand what's the reason of why our choice in the UK is so limited. Okay, and so the last thing that I wanted to mention about Vanguard, and this is the thing that's quite irritating for me, and someone even mentioned it in the comments under one of my videos about Vanguard. This is about how you can buy the same fund that you've already invested in manually. Like in my situation, as I already said, I buy S&P 500 every single Monday, and every single Monday it is the same problem, and it took me several months to figure it out because all the time I thought that I'm doing something wrong. Now I know that I'm doing everything right, but I think this is the feature that Vanguard is missing on. And to explain to you what exactly happens, let's look at how I buy this fund every single week. Okay, so I go to my portfolio and I click on investments, I click view, and I see all the different funds that I have in my portfolio. Then I choose the fund that I want to buy, S&P 500 in my case, and I click on top up. Once I clicked on top up, I get an option of buying it at the next available price or live price, and I choose the next available because it is free. And here it gives me the note that I already have this investment in my portfolio, and they say there is no problem, you can buy it, but they just thought that I should be aware, and I have absolutely no problem with that. It's kind of cool how they tell me that I already hold this fund, because it is true, a lot of people may just misclick or think that this is something new when in fact this is the fund that they already hold. It never hurts to remind about things like this more often. But what I don't understand is why, when I see this message and when I already clicked on the fund that I want to buy and I already see this fund on the page, it still doesn't show any funds in my basket. So my basket is still empty. And if I want to add a fund, even though it is clear that I want to add this exact fund and they told me that I already hold this fund, okay, that's good, I still have to go and choose it from all the funds that are available on Vanguard, which obviously takes time. And don't get me wrong, I'm okay to do it, but I just don't understand why it has to be so difficult. So what I have to do next is I have to click on the button add more funds and choose the fund here, and I already know that my fund is an equity fund, and then I relatively fast scroll down and find the fund that I want to invest in, because every single week it is the same fund, so I sort of learned already where this fund is. I put the sum that I want to put into it, and then I click next, and then it's all working fine. So then payment method, and I choose the payment method that I want. The payment method is not the issue. My issue is, why do I have to choose this fund from the whole list of all the other funds every single week? I just don't get it. Okay, so as you see, this is not a list of horrible things. These are just little things, but there are quite a lot of them, and I think the majority of them are very easily avoidable. So I just don't understand why Vanguard doesn't solve these problems. Maybe they never knew that people get irritated by little things like that, but I do, and who knows, maybe they will watch this video and they will decide to change something about the services that they provide. Okay, this is it for this video today. Thank you so much for your time and attention, and I hope to see you soon in my next videos. Bye bye.